We are going to simplify and offer new ways for businesses and developers to make money through HandCash. Our focus is on apps and games, but that doesn't mean that you cannot extend this technology to all kinds of use cases in a way that still makes sense and it's understandable by companies or whatever, and it's something appealing. How can I use HandCash for my point of sale, or how can I use HandCash on my web store or whatever? So we want to make that obvious, and that's part of the simplification of what we are going to do for developers too, and also for users. We are working on cash outs, so you would be able also to send money to your bank account.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite apps that I use every day, and it's called HandCash. For the regular person such as myself, HandCash is an awesome way to earn Bitcoin simply by playing games and completing simple tasks. And it's available in both the Google and Apple Play Store. You can download HandCash directly at handcash.io and support the Brittany Bits podcast by using my referral code EarnBits. To help us talk about HandCash and all of the exciting things it can do, we have Alex, the good CEO of HandCash, joining us. Hello and welcome to the show, Alex. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing very well and glad to be on your show again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you, Alex. Well, let's kind of get straight into this. A lot of people just simply aren't aware that there's an entirely new market economy emerging as we speak, built around the idea of leveraging, extremely quick transaction extremely quick and low transaction fees. So today I want to talk about that and answer a common question I get asked all the time when we talk about HandCash, which is simply, what is it and why does it matter? Alex, can you start us off by explaining what is HandCash, what can you do with HandCash, and what in particular makes HandCash so special and unique compared to everything else on the market?
Yeah, cool. HandCash is a new kind of wallet that, it's very easy to use, although it uses crypto. We've made it very user-friendly since day one. We've always had this motto of Bitcoin for the rest of us, because, kind of the way we started in Bitcoin was because we saw that everything was, you didn't have any app that you would recommend your friends or family to get started on Bitcoin. It was very geeky and complicated. So that's the whole idea of starting HandCash. And right now, HandCash is a new kind of wallet that you can connect to all kinds of apps and games. So the cool thing is that instead of spreading your money into a ton of accounts all over the internet and having to give your credit card data to a lot of companies, whatever, and deposit sometimes like $50 or $100 to start. With HandCash, you can just spend right away, right from your wallet in all of these apps. And at the same time, even though we're talking about especially micropayments is what makes HandCash unique, because things like PayPal, credit cards, whatever, for the fees are quite high, so they're not feasible for small payments. So as you said, we are creating this kind of new economy where apps can just not just get paid from users, but also reward users for ranking high in a game, for being very active, or every time you log in, or if you help me retweeting this thing. So we are creating a new kind of economy and new kind of incentives that never existed before, and definitely even some new business models. And I think it's something very exciting and very unique about BSV in general, but HandCash in particular.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with everything you just said, Alex. And in my experience, I've noticed that most new people get caught up in trying to grasp the idea of Bitcoin, like you said. But personally, I think the best way to learn what Bitcoin is simply by physically showing someone how they can earn it and use it, to earn Bitcoin for free on things like HandCash. It's just one of those things that, sometimes you just got to download and try for yourself. But, I want to talk a little bit more about some of the ways ways users can earn money. And recently, a lot of people have been talking about, the HandCash News top-up system, which also offers a referral program. And a lot of our viewers may be wondering, why do I need a fiat on-ramp if you can just play and use the games and apps to earn for free? So I'd love it if you could touch on your long-term vision for HandCash and why having fiat on-ramps is an important part of your plans at HandCash. But also, could you please explain the referral system and how you can earn Bitcoin, and especially if you're somebody with like a large following, how you could utilize that?
Yeah. Well, let's start with the referral system. So we've realized that it was very important for us not just to reward new people who bring us new users, which is super important for us, but also we want to reward those loyal fans that we've had for 4 years already. We've already been out for 4 years.
Wow.
So basically we wanted to make referral system also retroactive. But the cool thing is that we give you a link. So every time you invite someone to HandCash through your link, every time they top up their account using their credit card or other payment methods in the future, you will get a 50% cut on our fees. And I think that's pretty cool because it's a way of saying thank you from our side for people, for bringing people in, because we saw that people were asking for an ambassador program for HandCash or whatever, but we think this is much easier to get started with, and it's working fairly well. People are recommend and are giving out these links all the time, and they're making money, and it's pretty cool. And the best thing is that all these rewards are instant, and you can spend them right away inside other games. So if you invite a lot of people, maybe you don't even need to. And if you are very active inside of games and apps or whatever, maybe you never need to top up, turns out. But one of the reasons why we need this is because not all of the apps are for earning money specifically, but sometimes you are like with Peer Game, for example, it's a gambling site, or there are some sports betting apps, and you also have genuine retweets. If you are one of the people that are retweeting the content that they are promoting, you're making money. But at the same time, it's a great tool that I use fairly a lot of times because it's very easy to promote a tweet to be highlighted on Twitter and get a lot of likes and retweets and comments, and it's a fantastic tool, and it's fairly cheap. But the thing is that you need some money to get started. Even in those games in Haste and these other games, normally you start with an empty wallet, okay? But the thing is that we've always relied on the community to always welcome new users. So we say, oh, we have a new user, whatever, and people ping them, whatever, they maybe make $1 or $2, and with that money, that's enough to actually get started and play a lot of games on Haste, then rank high, then get paid by other users. Then you take the money and you use it in I don't know, there are so many apps, I don't know. The cool thing is that is this kind of new economy that we are creating that's different from micropayments in the past, because when people think about micropayments, it's typically you paying an amount of between $1 to $10 to a company or a developer, and that's it. But they never pay you back.
Right.
So with what we call nano payments, you can have payments that are under $1, and also you can companies can spread those payments between their users.
Yeah, no, definitely. The idea of microtransactions, nano payments, that's totally revolutionary to this whole thing. But I want to touch a little bit more on some of the other apps. I personally use, like Duro Dogs, TDXP, the Pew Pew app, and you can even link Twetch up to your wallet, which I found really, really fascinating. It's pretty cool. But maybe we could touch on Duro Dogs here for a second, if you don't mind. I actually just had the chance the other day to sit down with the CEO of Duro Dogs and get a idea from him about the game and everything else for the viewers. And Duro Dogs is definitely one of my favorite games on HandCash. It's kind of like Tamagotchi for those of you who remember what that's like. Duro Dogs, it's basically a game where you can raise your pets through fun exercises and get rewarded with valuable items for interacting with the game through special treasure hunts and competition. So Alex, can you touch on what you think about Duro Dogs and what you think makes the game so special? Also, maybe touch on the significance of NFTs on chain.
Yeah, I think what makes Duro Dogs so special is because it's based around payments and NFTs. And the reason is that with NFTs, you get unique items that you can prove that they are unique. I mean, it's not that, there's something very fancy and the developers are selling it for a very high price, but, that's an infinite number that they can generate. But the cool thing is that for the trends that we have seen, I'm a gamer. I like playing video games. But the thing is that I'm 33 years old and I have my little sister, she's 22 right now. And she's also a gamer, okay? But our concept of gaming is vastly different. Back in the day when I played games, I typically, I looked at reviews on new games, the Legend of Zelda, this, whatever that. And I wanted to play the game because of the actual quality of the game, or the amount of hours that I can play this thing, or the amount of challenges or whatever, or how difficult it was, the graphics. But right now we are seeing a current trend on gaming where it's intrinsically tied to rewards and community building. And I think being able to have a true secondary market with scarce goods that you earn by playing or being very good at, or earning trophies that are unique NFTs on tournaments. I think those things have a lot of value because they are scarce and because you can prove that they are scarce.
Right.
And not only that, but there are some people that want to let's say I think this is one of the coolest things about not just Duro Dogs but all this ecosystem, is that typically if you're playing Candy Crush or these games, you have this fake in-game currency that you can only use inside of their game. But it's very cool to see that we are creating an ecosystem where the money that you might be making on Duro Dogs, you can be spending it on Haste. And the money that you make on Haste, you can be posting pictures on Relica, and what you make on Relica, you can do it in another place. So the cool thing is that with not much money, with not a ton of money, users feel that they get rewarded. And the cool thing is that because of the speed and velocity on how frequent these payments are, companies still make money without having to charge a lot to their users. And that's something that once you see it from our perspective and you see the numbers and the stats that we have, it's very cool, because maybe you see that a player only makes like $1 or $2 or whatever, but in the process, there's been like 100 transactions back and forth. And all companies take a little bit of a cut on every one of those transactions. And even at the small volume they're seeing right now, small compared to, I don't know, to the volume that you get on mainstream gaming platforms, developers are making money. And this is something that's really cool to see. And in some cases, they're making much more money than they would do it by selling $50 items. And the cool thing is nobody seems to even notice that they're making money. And I think that's great for developers and for users, and it creates a lot of opportunities out there.
Oh no, definitely, Alex. I like the way that you phrase that. The burgeoning economy within HandCash is definitely vast, and I like the fact that you can earn money in one game and spend it in another game. It's It's awesome. That's what makes HandCash unique for sure. But maybe let's touch on TDXP for a second. You know, as far as I'm aware, TDXP is the first ever on-chain exchange launched on Bitcoin, and it allows traders and investors the ability to leverage microtransactions in a way to hedge their investments. You know, so for example, with TDXP, you can leverage as little as 1 penny to buy or short your favorite stocks, commodities, and Forex. So I think, you know, what makes TDXP particularly special is that it's the only fully custodial trading platform that I've ever seen that allows for instant microtransactions. So I think, you know, especially a lot of us here in the Western world kind of take the idea of trading a penny for granted, because people say in impoverished countries that could be life-changing for them. So I love the fact that we're really, you know, solving a big problem by giving the best opportunities to the people that need them most. And Alex, I was hoping maybe, you know, to hear what you thought about TDXP. And is there anything that you think that I missed that our viewers should know about?
Oh, I think it's very innovative. And I think one of the key points is not just that you can use small amounts, is the fact that you're connecting your HandCash wallet, okay? So you don't need to deposit a ton of money and you have minimum fees or minimum amounts or whatever. You can just get started right away just to get a feel for it. So it's kind of I think it allows you to do like paper trading kind of experience at first. So, you know, it's very cool because what the platform demands from you to get started is super low. And I think it's also, you know, there are many benefits to it. I think what you just said about, you know, that being able to do tiny amounts is great for some particular economies where, you know, $1 or $2 can mean quite a bit.
Right.
You know, my particular take on that is that I don't really know if that people are actually so interested in, you know, if that's a lot of money for them to put it in those kind of platforms. But the thing is that at least you're opening a new market to actually trade these things. And, you know, if even people most of people that do trading, they lose money, even in our even in our countries. But if you're good and you understand the rules on how it works and have some principles in place and have some systems in place, you can make money. And I think if this lets you have that learning experience, you know, in your first months, and you start gradually making the amounts bigger or whatever, you can manage your own risk in a way that you cannot do it with another product like the Giro or whatever, where you have to, you know, maybe deposit $2,000 to get started, and you get real results. I mean, and real gratification. If you're right and you close in positive, then you make money, and that's very cool, especially with leverage.
Oh no, absolutely. And I think it's cool that, you know, I could go and play Duro Dogs, earn some money in Duro Dogs, and then teach myself how to trade on TDXP. So it's just like, yeah, you know, somebody with little experience can get on HandCash and start earning money and making money.
Isn't it cool to see how different all the apps that we have are? I mean, you have apps of all kinds. You have people that use this for as marketing tools, which work phenomenally. And one of the cool things about if you use this technology for advertising or marketing is that you can reinvest right away what you're making. So I think that we have some ideas on closing that loop but imagine that you are promoting a campaign, okay? And you create kind of a referral systems for people to sell your book, okay? And you have an ebook. And people sell the ebook, they get rewarded instantly, and you get paid, and you paid for that ebook instantly yourself into your account, and you can reinvest automatically that into more marketing budget automatically. So basically, you can automate a loop of
positive feedback.
Yeah, of positive. Yeah, and from promoting any kind of content. it removes all the friction that you have on Google Ads, Facebook ads, whatever. This is much better. And the cool thing is that you can still do it while using the same social media platforms. You don't have to go to special kind of social media platforms to get the benefit of this. You just have to use Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love Tonic Pow. You know what? One of my other favorite apps is actually the Pew Pew app. And I actually use that a lot. So, you know, the Pew Pew app, for those who don't know, is an app where users can, you know, instantaneously send pennies with messages to hundreds, if not thousands of people simultaneously. So I think the Pew Pew app is a great tool for marketing campaigns and promoting content. I use it all the time to notify my subscribers when I post a new video. So there are plenty of clever ways to utilize, you know, HandCash and the sub apps within it. But Alex, you know, again, anything you would like to add to that specifically?
Oh, yeah, the thing is that it started kind of as not as a joke, but it was. The thing is, Pew Pew started as a project that when we started developing the SDK for developers, we wanted to see how easy it was for a developer to implement these payments into an app. And the cool thing is that we got the worst developer in our team, which was me and myself. And I tried to, and I challenged myself, like, let's see if I can do something, you know, pretty stupid, just send that just tips money or whatever. And I was able to build it in a few hours. And it worked. And it was like, okay, if I'm able to do it, you know, anybody can create an app. So it's easy enough. So, excuse me. So then the team loved it, and they realized, oh, maybe we can use it for stress testing internally. And that's what we did. Then we automated the stress testing or whatever, but we wanted to see, you know, if we put this in the wild and we have, you know, hundreds of or thousands of users paying hundreds of thousands of users all the time, and let's see what happens. And if let's see if our infrastructure holds up with all that demand. Yeah, so we launched it as a stress test tool, basically, for us to gather data. But then we saw, you know, when we added the notes, then we realized that people were trying to use it especially for marketing, and not just marketing, but also getting in touch with a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that routinely every single morning they just spend like 20 cents or $1 or whatever just for saying good morning with a sun emoji or whatever to everybody, or send poems, or I don't know. It's very cool, and it's something that happens spontaneously. So right now, my pal Brandon Kreiderman and myself, we are rebuilding the Pew Pew with a new technology, so it's faster, whatever, and we are going to make it list based. So you're going to be able to manage lists, add lists, remove lists, get lists, whatever, share your list of users, and also add a few things to make marketing campaigns, you know, more convenient. But the thing is that it started as a joke, and it's you know, it's one of the apps that people use the most, and it's pretty cool.
No, definitely. Pew Pew, like I said, is one of my favorite apps on HandCash, hands down. You know, I also use Genuine Retweets and Tonic Pow. I mean, I also like Relica, and Relica is really cool in the sense that it's like a social media platform on chain in HandCash, which is very similar to Twetch. You know, I think it's really important in today's day and age with all the censorship and you know, influencers getting kicked off social media platforms for something like Twetch or Relica to be around. You know, many technicians have even gone so far as to say that Bitcoin is the first time that we've ever had an accurate recollection of history, because until now there has never been a technology that allows for private and immutable data storage. And Twetch and Relica, those teams are doing exactly that. So they're, especially Twitch is building the first decentralized data storage system in history that can archive information permanently for future generations without the risk of the data being altered, lost, or censored. So I really think that this technology is super critical for the development of humanity and moving forward. But as I understand it, Twitch can be added to HandCash, but it works really well with it, even though they are an independent and competitive company in their own way. But I really wanted to say that personally, I love the fact that I can have all my favorite apps in one place. And I appreciate that I can use Twitch from my HandCash wallet. So Alex, what is your relationship like with the Twitch team? And what do you think that I've missed that I probably should have included in regards to Twitch and HandCash?
Yeah, well, they at some point stopped having the dependency with wallets. So even though it's compatible with HandCash or with any other wallet, they do it through modern peer-to-peer payments, typically with peer-to-peer paymail. So at least even if it's its own wallet or whatever right now, the cool thing is that they are working on making interoperability between wallets very cool. So if you send from Twitch a payment to HandCash, you see your profile picture, their name, whatever, Twitch name, so and vice versa. So we are trying to build that small bridge of at least compatibility or at least feeling that it's still the same ecosystem. And well, for example, we have right now the top-up system. So right. And they are offering different versions of different companies which their users can use to top up their Twitch wallet. And one of them, they just included HandCash, although it's just basically a link, I guess, with our referral to our app. But we are very thrilled about the opportunity of maybe creating a widget or something that these companies can integrate into their apps. Because again, for HandCash to be successful, BSV also has to be successful, and vice versa. I think HandCash and Twitch, and there are a few other players that we are kind of pushing this publicly. Maybe there are some companies that are doing 100 billion transactions every single day or whatever in the background that we still don't see. But while that happens, I think it's very cool to see companies like Twitch or ourselves or BitPing or RelayX or whatever that are keeping the flame alive. And I think it's starting to, we see an uptrend in usage in the ecosystem. So definitely we are up to something. We just need to find that, like we say in our team, we need to find our eBay. If we are PayPal, we need to find our eBay moment where, thanks to eBay, people started to use PayPal, and that changed how people pay for things online. So I think we need to find that use case where, people don't really care if there's Bitcoin or it's called BSB or whatever it is. It's just that it's awesome and I want it.
Yeah, no, definitely, Alex. I can't agree more.
But we personally have a very good relationship with the Twitch team. We share some of the same concerns, and I don't know, they're great people. I really like them, and I'm very good friends with them.
Oh, that's great to hear. I definitely think there needs to be a little bit more community building within the ecosystem. So I love to hear that, HandCash is being a pioneer in the sense of how do we integrate all of these different, ideas into one place where people can utilize them to not only make money, but create life-changing events for themselves. So, Alex, I personally love HandCash and I enjoy it so much that I'm constantly encouraging people to sign up to HandCash to earn free Bitcoin in their free time. But is there anything you might want to add before we go ahead and start wrapping things up?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have very cool and exciting things going, coming up next. We are going to simplify and offer new ways for businesses and developers to make money through HandCash. And I think it's going to be very easy. And we think that's part of what we need to, we are based on, our focus is on apps and games. but that doesn't mean that you cannot extend this technology to all kinds of use cases in a way that still makes sense and it's understandable by companies or whatever, and it's something appealing. And also it's because we're having a lot of demand of people, asking like, hey, how can I use HandCash for my point of sale, or how can I use HandCash on my web store or whatever. So we want to make that obvious, and that's part of the simplification of what we are going to do for developers too. And also for users, we are working on cash outs, so you would be able also to send money to your bank account. There are a lot of apps in the works, and some promotions from some of the current apps that we have already that are going to be pretty amazing, and I hope that they will bring even more and more people to the ecosystem. And for users, they will be happy to know that we are working on basically rebuilding how you log into HandCash, how you register, whatever. So it's going to be much easier, less tedious, whatever. It's not that it's super tedious or whatever, but I think we can even do a much better job. And that's basically coming next because it's something that we are looking into. We are also looking into alternative ways for companies to make money in their local currency, even though they're using HandCash. I think it's very important for some companies. It's quite of a challenge. We thought that there were some answers with stable coins or whatever. We've always been pretty skeptical about them for a reason. It's not that we are against them. I wish we would just be using stable coins all the way everywhere, but it's not that trivial. I mean, it's stable coins is, they are fine. They're okay right now if you want to send $5 once a week. The problem is that if you try to enter haste or peer game and start tapping and tapping and tapping, and every time you tap there's a payment, that's quite of a challenge. And we've been looking into it since forever. But I think anyway, people are not complaining about that. It's mostly companies that there are some companies that want to get paid into USD. So I don't know, we will add cash outs. Maybe we'll add some way of converting to fiat directly or whatever, but it's something that's on the table. I just want to be transparent on what we're working on. And yeah, but this year is basically about streamlining the sign-up process, making it easier for developers, and growing in number of apps, growing in utility, and in users, number of users and transactions. And so far, we are growing according to what we expected this year. Very happy. We're very happy, and I think 2022 is going to be a very nice year for.
I hope so too, Alex. I love the HandCash app. I'm so excited that you came on and decided to share this information with us today. So I can't thank you enough for coming on, Alex. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Anytime.
All right. Well, you heard it here, everyone. Go now and download HandCash at handcash.io and start earning bits of Bitcoin for free. Alternatively, you can also sign up by going to earnbits.com with a Z. And before we go, make sure to hit up the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Share this video with a friend, and also follow us on Twitter at BritneyBits.